It was raining pretty hard that afternoon, and he had honestly a ridiculous number of boxes. I held the door for him when he struggled to get the last one through, figuring he lived on one of the upper floors. He just thanked me and walked right past the elevator, which felt a little odd. It was a downpour, the kind that smears the city lights. I was unwinding with a mug of tea when the buzzer sounded. Just the delivery guy, I figured. But it was him, the man with the boxes from earlier. He hadn't managed to get them all in one trip. I held the heavy glass door automatically. He was pale, almost translucent in the lobby's fluorescent glow, and thanked me twice, a little too earnestly, said he was new, completely turned around. "Fifth floor," he mumbled, then hurried past the elevator. I didn't offer to help. It felt wrong. Not unfriendly. Exactly. More like an instinct to stay back. He just disappeared around the corner. I went back to my tea, telling myself he was just flustered, an older man struggling with groceries. Later, when I was letting the cat out, I noticed it. My apartment door. It always clicked firmly shut. A solid sound. Tonight, it felt loose. Like the latch wasn't quite catching. I pushed it closed again harder, and it still didn't feel right. I should probably mention it to the building manager, I thought, then dismissed it. Probably just settling. Old building. I didn't say anything to the cat either. Just locked it again, a little too slowly, and checked it twice. It started small. Things shifted. Not enough to immediately notice. Just a sense that something wasn't quite as I'd left it. A book moved from the coffee table to the shelf, then back again the next day. I blamed tiredness. Too much screen time. Then the mug, my favorite one. I always put it facing the same way on the counter, handle to the right. Every morning it was turned, just slightly, the handle pointing left. Annoying. More than anything, I'd correct it, automatically, and think no more of it. I started double-checking things, little mental notes as I moved through the apartment. Mug right, book on table. Yesterday, I deliberately took the long way to the mailbox, down 3 flights of stairs and out the back entrance. Just avoided the lobby altogether. I didn't want to see him again, not even a glimpse. It felt irrational, avoiding someone, but the memory of his face, that strained politeness, stuck with me. This morning, on the kitchen counter, was a card. Just one. The Queen of Spades. No deck, no message. I stared at it for a long time. I could have asked the building manager if he'd seen anyone, if anything was reported, but I didn't. What would I even say? Someone left a playing card in my kitchen. It felt absurd. I put the card in a drawer. Everything felt off kilter. It wasn't settling. It wasn't forgetfulness. It was something else, something deliberate. The bills arrived today, stacked neatly on top of the junk mail. Usually I sort them immediately. Today I just stared. It wasn't the bills themselves, but the order, deliberate, like someone had gone through them. I remembered tossing the flyers aside first, letting the envelopes settle on top. A small thing, but it chipped away at the edges of my composure. Then I went into the living room. The photograph, my grandmother, she always sat on the mantelpiece facing the sofa. I hadn't touched it in weeks. It was face down now, just placed carefully on the wood, glass against the polish. I didn't pick it up right away. I just stood there, heart doing a strange, uneven rhythm. I needed to distract myself work. I opened my laptop, and the screen flared with nothing. Not black. Just a washed-out gray. A blurry landscape I didn't recognize. My own picture, the one I'd had for years, was gone. I checked the settings, of course. No changes, no recent updates. It just was different. I went back to the lobby, found the security guard, asked to see the footage from yesterday afternoon. There he was coming in with me. A normal entrance, nothing unusual. He followed me inside, then disappeared toward the elevators. No one else entered the building for a good hour. The guard shrugged. Just a resident, I guess. I didn't tell him about the photograph or the mail. Didn't mention the screen. What would I say that someone was messing with my life, rearranging things? It sounded insane. But watching the footage again, something clicked. The way he glanced back at me as we walked. A small thing. Easily missed. But now it felt intentional. Not friendly, not threatening, not exactly, just knowing. He knew I was watching him, and he knew I was going home. I called the building manager, explained about the door, how it didn't catch properly. Asked for a new lock, a stronger one. He chuckled, said the existing ones were perfectly secure, standard issue, said he'd send someone up anyway just to check it. I didn't push, didn't want to sound difficult. While I waited for maintenance, I was going through some old papers in the desk. That's when I found it. A sketch. It was my apartment. Roughly drawn, but unmistakably the layout, and around the bedroom window, circled in red pen. Nada. The maintenance man was polite, efficient. New lock clicked shut with a satisfying thunk, but it didn't change anything. Not really. The shifting stopped, the little rearrangements. It wasn't relief I felt, though. It was emptiness, like whatever was happening had just paused, gone still. I started checking things. Everything. The angle of the curtains, the way the pillows were arranged, the spice jars lined up by height. 3 times a day I'd walk through the apartment, cataloging. It's ridiculous, I know, but the silence was worse, the absence of interference. It felt like being watched, but without any evidence. The Queen of Spades is still in the cookbook, tucked between pasta sauces and baking tips. I haven't thrown it away. Couldn't. It feels important. A marker. A promise. I take the stairs now. Always. Even with the new lock, it feels safer somehow to control the ascent, to see who's in the lobby. And I do see him, sometimes, across the open space, near the mailboxes, always smiling, that faint knowing curve of his lips. I don't acknowledge him, don't meet his gaze. I haven't told anyone about the sketch, or the gray screen, or the feeling. What could I say? That I'm afraid my life is being mapped. It sounds insane, so I keep it to myself. I just keep checking and rearranging and taking the stairs. Tonight, I rearranged the furniture again, just slightly, moved the armchair 2 inches to the left. It feels better this way, more predictable. He'll notice, he always does.